Hello and welcome to the Erieli Knits interview series where we interview different makers, shop owners, designers, artists, etc. I'm Riley and today Erieli Knits interviews Amber of Snickle and Mr. B. Amber makes fun and functional project bags and is an all-around crafter and just an all-around lovely human being. So thank you so much for being here, Amber.
Thank you. That was so sweet. So thank you so much.
First, could you tell us a bit about your business?
Sure. So Snickle and Mr. B, as you mentioned, is a knitting project bag, little small business. It's kind of my little side hustle from my real job, the 8 to 5 job. And yeah, I just, I was having fun with it and thought, I might as well make knitting bags. And so I, focused it around basically all my loves, which is my animals, my knitting, and, all those projects. So yeah, just a fun little side hustle project bag shop.
I love that. What made you decide to start Snickle and Mr. B?
Well, I can't believe it's been 5 years, but about 5 years ago, I decided that I was going to knit. And so I had a friend that knit, and I just thought, man, that would be so cool to learn that. And I've kind of always wanted to. Mm-hmm. And so when I started knitting, there's all these accessories that you just have to have. And so I started making my own project bags and just kind of playing around. My mom was a sewer, and so I've always kind of done a little sewing, and so I started playing around making my own. And then I just decided, gosh, I should do these as gifts when things came up for Christmas and stuff like that. And then things develop and people start requesting and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so then I just kind of decided that this might work out, and it just was like a perfect timing. And so I had just started my master's program, and it was in professional communications, and so you had to develop ideas or get some type of project and develop it as you go through the program. And so that's what I thought, we'll just see, maybe I can actually put a brand to this and make it work. And so that's when I chose the dogs and just developed it more into that as the program went on. And so, it's just been really fun to create that, and especially to involve the dogs in the whole situation, because they're with me everywhere. So
no, I absolutely love that. And I love that about just your Instagram page and everything. We get to see a lot of Molly and Benson and now Gabby, and it just makes me really happy.
Oh, thank you. I know sometimes I'm like, I'm probably going to lose followers because I overdo it, but they're my whole life. And so, I take them everywhere, and they're in my everyday. So it only made sense to, incorporate them into the brand. So that was really fun. It's been a really fun project. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Do you have any products or anything that you have with you that you could show us?
Super. This is kind of a new one I've been working on that I'm super excited about. And so it's more of an overall carry bag. And so I'm super excited. And so it's got some, outside pockets that, you can hold your little goodies in. And then there's this, and it's I love it because I got those big fat zippers, that are sturdy, industrial. Yeah. And then the inside is huge. And so it's so nice. And there's some pockets in there, of course. And then I did pockets on both sides. Yeah. So I did pockets on both sides. And pattern's a little busy, but yeah. And so this is the small size.
That's the small size.
Yeah. It's going to be so cool.
Oh my gosh.
Is it I needed something to carry my spinner in. I have one of those Hanson spinners.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't necessarily like the bag it came with, so then I thought I'm gonna make my own and kind of play around with it. And so I tried a pattern out for the larger size, and it worked perfect. And then I thought, maybe a little smaller where you could fit multiple projects right in a bag, and you can have your socks and your sweater and all that stuff with your other project bags. So this is hopefully going to be, I'm going to have enough of them that I debut it in May. And so I'm super excited about it to have some new ones. So
I'm so excited about that.
I have no idea what I'm going to name it, but that's okay.
I love that. And it's so big, and it opens up really wide, so it's not there's bags that they're they're big, but like they have a small opening, so it's kind of hard to like
Yeah,
fit
like when
everything
you
in.
it.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't like that. I want to be able to, like, that's kind of with the project bags, is I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be able to like fold them over,
Yeah.
you know, into them. I usually have a lot of stuff, and so I'm digging, you know, and getting stuff out. And so I do too. I had to have that wide zipper, you know, that big opening so that you can kind of fold it down and get all your goodies out. So it'll be kind of fun. So I'm excited about this. It'll be a fun addition to the site, and I hope they go over well. I hope people like them.
Yeah. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
I'm very excited for you. And I'm excited about them. I'm like, oh.
I know, I can't wait either. I've got already so many patterns, like, you know, so many fabrics in mind for them. And so it's like, ooh, just chomping at the bit.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about just you. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into knitting, sewing, spinning, all the things?
Sure. So, like I was saying, about 5 years ago is when I started knitting, and the friend that I had referred to, my friend, very, very good friend, Meg, she was a knitter, and we had met because I was sheep herding with Molly at the time. And so we had found this, she had so much energy. She was like the craziest puppy. Mm-hmm. And we thought, okay, we've got to, you know, channel this in the right direction. So we found a local trainer that did sheep herding, and she was really, it was fun because she was really skilled. She participates in Shoulders Hollow and things like that. And so we were super excited to learn from her. And that's where I met Meg. And she had her dog, Jenny. And so me and her would, you know, sit there and get times where we can like train together, and we just got to know each other. And she was just a beautiful knitter. And then come to find out, she even dyes yarn. And so I was like, oh, this is amazing. You know, this is just so cool. And so I had taken a class at I decided to sign up for a class at the Needlepoint Joint, and it's in downtown Ogden on the historic 25th Street area. And so I signed up for the class and made a scarf, and it was just so fun, and I was hooked. And I just thought, okay, like, I am doing this. And then that's when I just started. I'm a dabbler, and so like I have to do a little of everything just to see if, you know, if it's something that is like can't live without. And so that's when I started making the project bags to go, because it had to match my knitting, of course. So so I started making them for that, and then that's kind of like, you know, where we just we as I got to know her more, we started doing more projects together, and, you know, meeting up for lunch and dinner and having knit nights and things like that. And so it was just super fun to see all that develop, you know, looking back on it. It was like, oh man, I found my passion, I found my path, and it's just been so fun to do it. And I wish I would have done it 30 years ago. Like, I feel like I've skipped myself. So, but yeah, it was super fun. And, you know, having all of that encouragement from her was, you know, really meaningful. So it was pretty cool.
That's so cool. So I have to focus in on this because you said you were making project bags to match your knitting. Yeah,
so I was making the project bags because, like, my first one that I'd made, I had started socks, and I just, you know, was like, oh, this will be so fun. I found this cute fabric, and I wanted to, you know, do all that kind of fun stuff as I was learning, you know. And so I thought, yeah, now I'll make a project bag to match this. And so I was like so excited to take it to knit night and have this cute project bag that, you know, matched my socks. And so I must have knitted those socks like 6 times because I'm a horrible sock knitter apparently. And so I just they were like iron, you know. And so I would make my project bags to match the projects I was knitting. And so that was kind of a fun way to get started.
That's so cute. I love that.
Thanks. I get a little, I like matchy.
Yeah. How has your experience with crafting been unique or special to you?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because, like I was saying, I'm a dabbler. And so I like to do some, you know, I like to try everything. And So I'm always kind of playing with different things, and I have a little bit of scope creep, as my husband would call it. And I'm just like all over the map, and when I feel like I'm a really crafty person just for that reason. But when I found knitting, it was just like, I could tell I found my passion. And ever since then, it's just been like, I don't know, it's like checked so many boxes for me, because it's like, you talk about the meditative part of it and the creative part and all the colors, and then the community, and all the friends and everything that I've made since I've started this journey. And it's just one of those things where it's like I was saying, I wish I would have found this 30 years ago, because I have met so many fun people, and it's been so fun to, be with other people who are just as passionate about what you do as you are. And that it's just been such a joy. And I really feel like we have a great community out there, and that's been one of the most rewarding things from it.
Yeah. I would agree. The community is just amazing. Like, I remember when I first joined like crafty Instagram, right, online by through crochet, and then through that I was eventually able to find knitting, and then like going to like just local fiber things and meeting more people, and just there's just so many amazing people who do this.
I know. And that what's so fun is like everyone is so different. I mean, so it's like the selection that you have, from different patterns to the yarn, from the project bags to the little, the stitch markers. And it's just so fun to see everybody's creative side come out, and you can tell they have a real passion for what they're making. And that makes it even more special to me. I like to really see that side of a designer or a crafter, Yeah.
Do you have any personal things that you're working on at the moment, craft-wise?
Oh my goodness. I am like a fan. I have scope creep. I probably have like, a dozen working projects. Like I have some socks and cows and some test knits and sweaters, that I'm working on. But like lately, a lot of my time has been focused on, I think I had mentioned Singer Featherweights to you when we had kind of talked a little bit before. And they're just these fun, matter of fact, here, there's one right there. This white one right there. And it's really cool. They were made in the early 30s, and they are just the funnest. They're all metal, like a heavy, heavy metal. And they were made to be a very portable sewing machine. And so the whole gist is this is a sewing machine that you could, work on at home, maintain, and it was just like a real workhorse. And so I've gone down the rabbit hole of collecting your featherweights. And so now I've been playing around and restoring them a little bit. And so I think my earliest one is 1936.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so cool. And it needs some love. And so I've been taking it apart piece by piece, cleaning it, oiling it, lubricating it, whatever it needs, and then putting it back together and assembling it. And then hopefully I'll get to the point where I'm ready to paint. But it's gonna be a while, because there's definitely a lot of parts. But it's really cool to see how they've built these machines. And so I just found my 7th featherweight the other day at a craft show, and they just find me, and I can't help myself. I have to buy them. So
when did you start collecting them?
About, I would say probably almost a year or 2 years ago. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I had bought one I had went to a quilting class with my mom, and we saw a friend that had one, and we were like, wow, what was that? And so she was showing us, and it was so cute, because they're just in these little cases, and you can carry them around so easy, and the little table folds up. And so it was so fun to see that. And then we kind of kept our eye out and started looking for them on eBay and stuff like that. And then I found one up in Idaho. There's a shop that actually like gets them and then restores them. And that's their whole business, is Singer Featherweights. And so they have like parts, replacement parts and tutorials and stuff. And so I bought one from them, and I was hooked. They're like,
Yeah.
now I can't help myself. They're everywhere.
I've never thought about like a sewing machine being portable. Like that's just never
Yeah,
crossed my
right.
mind.
I know, and it's like so easy. And that, I mean, your standard sewing machine, right? You have the case and everything you
Yeah.
can put it in, but they're big. You know, they're
Yeah.
fairly good size, and but these are just these little compact, you know, machines that make the perfect stitch. I am just so impressed with how straight the stitches on it, and they're just so pretty, and the sound, oh, it's just beautiful. And so it's been really fun restoring those, and you know, playing around and taking them apart, and you know, doing all those little fun things with them, and then bringing them back to life, you know, for hopefully for another 100 years, right? 100+ years. So
Yeah.
hopefully I'll pass them down to family members
Yeah.
as time goes on.
I love that. Maybe you should stop talking about it because you're about to make me dive down another rabbit hole.
I know, right? I'm like, I was telling my husband the other day, I'm like, between knitting, sewing, you know, spinning, I'm like, now I'm gonna, you know, playing around with restoring sewing machines. I was like, he's an enabler, so I'm like, you've got to make me stop. Like, you know, you've got to tell me I can't do these things anymore. Because he totally is supportive.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm
so
lucky.
Cool. Yeah, that's amazing. We need more yarn enablers.
I know. And that's, you know, a pattern will come out or something, and I'm like, oh, I've got to knit this, you know, and usually it's a kit or something, you know, and he's like, oh, you better get it, you know, like, don't, I've got enough, you know, so I'm super lucky that he enjoys it as much as I do, so that's been nice.
I feel like that's something that when you do find a passion, the people around you can see that, and they,
it's spinning, and he is just so marveled by spinning. I was showing him some of the work you do, and you know, your spindle and everything, and 'cause I've dabbled into that, but I haven't, you know, really gone too far with it, and he just loves it. He's like, man, the thought you could, you know, take your own fiber and then make your own yarn. And I was showing him the brown sweater you had made, where you'd spun all that yarn yourself and then made it into this beautiful sweater, and he was just like, now that is cool. So I feel like I have this bar, you know, I've got to try that one day.
So what I'm hearing is that he's saying, go ahead, buy a sweater quantity worth of fiber to spin.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And you know, I'm good with that. I can handle it. I can make that happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he loved it. He just, you know, he's like, man, what a cool craft, you know, to do. And when COVID hit and, you know, everything went crazy, he's like, maybe I should learn how to knit. And I was like, yeah, you should knit or spin. You know, I was like, it would be fun to teach him and, you know, have him enjoy that too, because I know, of course.
Yeah, I love it. I'm always like, anytime anybody gives me a little bit of a window, like, maybe I'll try this. I'm like, oh, yes, definitely. Here you go.
Yeah, you're like, let me supply you with everything you need.
Yeah.
Yep, me too.
But what's bringing you joy right now?
You know, just being home, you know, being home with the family. It seems like we're still on a pretty kind of a slow schedule, where we rotate through the office and stuff. And so, you know, a lot of days I work at home and I'm able to be here with the dogs and the family, and my husband's the same way. You know, he's kind of in and out as well with his work schedule, because they've been doing rotations as well. And so it's been really nice to just, I don't know, get back to like the simpler things in life, and, you know, recognize where we need to be better, you know, as humans, and then being able to really kind of dig into that and, you know, recognize maybe where we, you know, where we need to improve, all of us, you know, as a society. And so things like that, I really feel like 2020, I don't know, opened my eyes to quite a few things, you know, and stuff that just is, you know, people's passions. And I've seen so many people grow and find new love in, you know, either being home with their family and being able to actually participate in a lot of things. And that's been like, it's something I've just loved seeing and experiencing myself. And
Yeah.
My nephew started college in the fall, and so it's been fun, to help him with things and just really kind of like reconnect with the family
Yeah.
and enjoy that time together. So that's been something I've really, I've really kind of sunk into this last year, and then keep it going in 2021. And so it's been fun to take that time. I'm usually really busy running around. We have a lot of events, and with things like that being on hold, it kind of freed up some time to kind of settle into myself a little bit more. So that was really nice. Yeah. So I'm enjoying that quite a bit. It'll be hard.
Nice. Yeah.
It'll be hard when life goes back to normal.
Yeah, it's just like all of a sudden you're going back to all the events and all the.
Yeah, and I'm just, I'm so curious at how all that's gonna work out as time goes on, and I'm sure it's gonna be, kind of slow going for a little bit, but I'm also excited for it too, because I miss seeing a lot of people, and that's something I really love about my job. And so, it's been different to have to refocus, and find that new motivation and kind of what drives you day to day, because we've been stuck at home. So it's been pretty but I'm a homebody too, so I'm like, okay, that's fine, I can make this work. So
yeah,
it's been nice.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with us, or something you'd like to discuss before we sign off?
I'm good. I was so excited that you asked for, to be a part of this. And so I'm so thankful for that. And thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me ramble for a while and talk about all the things in life that I love.
No, I love it. And I love doing this. And I am really glad that you were willing to do this, because I've been wanting to sit down and talk to you, because you're just such a kind person. I see all your stuff online. I see all of the stuff with Molly and Benson and now Gabby, and it just makes me really, really happy. So
thanks so much. I know it's been so fun, and I just love seeing, getting to meet people like you and other crafters, and then getting to look into their personal lives, and like your cute little cat that hangs out in your room and sleeping away the day. I mean, it's just so fun to see what motivates people and what the things that they love in life. And so I've been really excited to be able to be a part of that, and thanks so much for including me in that. It's a big compliment to me, so thank you very much.
Well, thank you. It's a big compliment that you would come on, so
thanks. Anytime.
Sounds good.
You're totally fun to chat with, so I can see you doing this a lot.
Thanks. I mean, I would love to chat anytime.
Love to do it more, for sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time again to come and chat with me. But everyone, you can find Amber on Instagram at Snickle and Mr. B, and support her business on Etsy. We'll put all of the links down below. I'm, for one, very excited about the new bag design that you're hoping to have in like May or June. So I'm very excited.
There'll be more coming about that, so it'll be fun.
But yes, thank you all for joining us. Now go out there and craft your world. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.